While we're talking about argument and listening to some of the recordings of last year's cases, it's interesting to hear your colloquies, I guess that's the right word, with the Chief. I'm wondering about your intellectual relationship with Chief Justice Roberts, because often your questions and answers were very rapid fire, and I'm wondering what you think of the intellectual relationship between the two of you.
Well, I have extraordinary respect for him. I mean, he was, you know, the great Supreme Court advocate of his time before he became a judge, and so I always felt as though you know, he could do better what all of us as lawyers were trying to do. I mean, and he did it as well as anybody has ever done it. Was to be at that podium and to make an argument to the Supreme Court, and that's a little bit intimidating to know that the person questioning you has also stood in your shoes and has really done the job better than anybody else ever has. You know, I've listened to the Chief's arguments, and I've talked to a lot of people who saw the Chief's argument, and he was fabulous. He's also a great questioner up there on the bench, and he really challenges you, as he should, you know, and he doesn't let you get away with anything. You know, he doesn't let you try. If there's something that you want to hide in your argument, he's probably pretty certain to find it. So he was. I tremendously enjoyed arguing in front of him, because you had to be at the top of your game, and you should have to be at the top of your game. Well, here's a little bit of a story. Is when I walked in for my swearing in. This was in the summer, before my big, grand public investiture. But this was the swearing in that was necessary in order for me to start during the summer to actually do the work of the court. And I was met by the Chief Justice, and he gave me a little bit of a tour of the inner rooms that the justices go to, the conference room that the justices meet in, and the robing room where the justices take on and off their robe, and the dining room upstairs. And on the tour, he showed me the robing room, and I looked, and there are sort of these wood lockers, and it goes from the Chief Justice, and then it said Justice Stevens, and then it carried on down, and the last locker was Justice Sotomayor. And then we walked around the building a little bit, and he showed me some other rooms, and maybe we took about 15 minutes, and we ended up back in the robing room again. And in that 15-minute time, what had happened was that Justice Stevens' nameplate had come off, and each of the nameplates had gone over one, and now there was a Justice Kagan. And he sort of showed me the new locker with the Justice Kagan nameplate. And it was a very effective way to say to me, well, you're here now. You're part of the community. You're part of the institution, and it was a very powerful thing to see.